Hepinize tekrardan merhabalar arkadaşlar. Kingdom Come Deliverance'ın yeni bölümüne hoş geldiniz. Bir önceki bölüme kartlardan ulaşabilirsiniz. Geçen bölüm en son bizim kaleyi, bizim değil daha doğrusu, Third Division kalesini buradan taşlamaya başladık. Çocuklar sürekli olarak buradan indirip taş yükleyip fırlatıyorlar. Kaleyi sürekli olarak bombalıyoruz da diyebiliriz. Feyfar öğren ha. İyi bak, iyi, ileride lazım olur bak. Öğren sen de bunları. Her neyse, şimdi 2 gün bekledim. Artık Sir Robert'la konuşalım. Hazırız. Reis, geldim.
I'm here.
Can't you see we're still bombarding? You came to
Nasıl erken geldim dayı? 2 gün geçti. 2 gün bekledim ben. Ya beni niye uğraştırıyorsunuz ya? Neyse, bir gün daha bekleyelim, tamam. Bu arada video dışında etrafta gezerken bir tane kamp buldum. Gittim şeyleri indirdim bak orada. Haydut indirdim orada. Onların şeylerini aldım. Ata koydum. Atta duruyor şu an. Mücadelede ne var? Kılıç. Bakalım abi ne gelmiş. Bunlar sürekli yeni combo açıyor da ne bu? Kesme, saplama, saplama. Kes, sapla, sapla. Saplama, saplama, saplamayı aldım mı lan ben? Öyle bir şey almış olmam lazım. Ha, bunlar fark etmez. Rastgele al geçsin. Tamam. Zaten balta, topuz, onları kullanmadık. Yayda niye ekstra bir şey yok onu çözemedim şu an. Balta bak bir ara kullanmıştık, az bir şey level gelmiş. Topuz hiç kullanmadık. Gerek yok bence topuza. Dayı, o zaman ben bir gün daha bekleyeyim. Şöyle akşam 8'e kadar bir bekleyeyim. Gece yatayım. Sabah olsun. Yapacak bir şey de yok yani. Şimdi şeye gidip gelsem desem, ne bileyim, böyle Ratta'ya falan bir gidip gelsem desem zırhları satmak için, gerek yok. Yol uzun bir de. Bu arada abone değilseniz abone olursanız ve like atarsanız sevinirim. Hala bak arkada pat pat ses geliyor. Size gelmiyor olabilir. Az geliyor biraz ses. Aha, benim bekliyorum. Aslanım, ben hazırım. Dur, yemek yiyebiliyor muyum? Yiyebiliyorum. Bir karnımı doyurayım. Hazırım. Robert, çekil lan. Saldırıyor muyuz kaleye?
Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Aha.
Just so. That Istvand's a stubborn bastard.
All right, when do we start?
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, we can still wait. You won't have another chance until we won the day. Or until your final rest.
Dayı yorgun falan. Ulan aslında biraz takatım azaldı ama sıkıntı yok, hazırım ya.
I'm ready.
Hadi abi, savaşa girelim artık.
We're going to attack on two fronts.
Tamam.
The north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
Peki bir şey söyleyeceğim hocam. Biz bunları yapmaya çalışırken içerideki esirleri öldürmeyecekleri ne malum? Gerçi öldürmezler ha. Öldürürlerse kesinlikle öleceklerini biliyorlar çünkü. Kapıyı nasıl ele
How are we going
geçireceğiz?
to attack the gate?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the trebuchet first. Keezer claims he can even hit it directly.
Allah Allah.
Even
Oğlum
if
en
that's
son
true,
duvara denk
we'll have to
getiremiyorduk ama.
charge through a downpour of enemy arrows all the way to the portcullis.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the defense in the bailey won't be easy.
Anladım. İç avlu.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer bailey, we're still a long way from victory. The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battlements. We'll have to either fight our way through or somehow get around them.
Anladım. Neyse, tamam, daha sormaya gerek yok.
I think I've heard
Hadi
everything I
savaşalım.
need to know.
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
Ben duvardan
I'll help with the attack on
tırmanırım.
the walls.
I'm proud of you.
Ha, doğru seçti lan. Ben bir
You've
şey
changed
seçmedim ama.
from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
Eyvallah
A
dayı.
village lad and an old soldier. This fan must be shaking in his boots.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing though. No matter how good the plan is, something always
Doğru
gets
söylüyor.
fucked
Kesin bir
up.
şey olur.
Keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered.
Anladım
You have to
hocam.
take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I remember that.
Good luck to you, stripling.
Ben savaştan
Good
önce
luck
bir
to you,
Lazarus iksiri içeyim de.
Old soldier.
See you later.
Bir kendimize gelelim. Abi bana yine şey verdiler. Aha. Başlıyoruz. Aha. Hans da gelmiş. Aa bana zırh vermişler. Bir de vuramıyormuşuz. Oy. Tam yerini vurduk lan. Allah heyecanlandım bak yine. Kaptan Robert'la konuş başarısız. Neyse boşver ya. Yani görev gibi bir şeydi zaten, önemli değil. Kuşatma. Onu da tamamladık. Yemin ediyorum nokta atışı yaptık tam kapının olduğu yere ha. Oradaki mekanizmayı kırdık, artık şey yapamazlar. Kapıyı kapatamazlar. Oyun yüklenirse inşallah. İçebilirsem hemen bir Lazarus iksiri. Herkes beni beklesin. Dayı, Lazarus iksiri içmem lazım. Bekle. Buydu değil mi lan o? 5 dakika sonra can tamamen dolar, mahmurluğun geçer. Yok. Bu neydi? İyileşir, mahmurluk etkilerini yok eder. Hayat suyu ne? Kolayca 5 dakika boyunca %50 daha az yaralanırsın. Bunu bir iç. Bunu iç. 5 dakikamız var. Koşun lan. Koş koş koş koş koş. Dayayın aslanlarım merdiveni. Bende yay da var. Gerekirse çeker vururum buradan. Adam var mı yukarıda? Adam gözükmüyor ya. Daya bakayım, daya hadi. Abi ben bir yayı çekeyim de şuradan çocuklara yardım edeyim ya. Lan puşlar. İşte biz buradan aşağıdan göremiyoruz. Öyle tasarlamışlar. Aha. Ağzına tükürdüğüm. Duvara geldi. Çıkar kafanı oğlum. Neyse abi, yayda iyi değilim zaten. Aslan parçaları hadi bakayım. Dur, yanlışlıkla SC'ye bastım lan. Çektim ben emaneti, ben de şuradan çıkayım bari. Hadi bakayım. Shift'e basarsam daha hızlı oluyor mu? Olmuyor. Neyse tamam. Biz burayı alırız bu arada ya. Lan. Lan aşağı düştü çocuk. Lan oğlum. Şş. Açıl bakayım. Hop. Yat lan aşağı. Kuş. Yat aşağı yat. Öldü. Bak gevşeye bak bak. İndir şunu. Bu da indi. Koş koş koş. Lan nereye takıldım ben? Ha. Abi indir. İndir indir indir. Yat lan aşağı. Saplayın şuna. Sapla şuna. Sapla sapla sapla. Oğlum bir sürü adamız şurada lan. Koş koş koş koş koş. Hemen duvarı hemen ele geçirek. Ben buradan içerim. Gerçi oradan bir yere gidilmiyor. Ciğerim soldu benim. Dur. Geliyorlar geliyorlar. Aha aha aha. Ağzına tükürdüm. Yat lan aşağı. Şunu ekipten ayırdık. Şunu şurada indirelim. İndir onu. İndirdik. Dur bir soluklanayım. O da indi. Ulan ben bizim adamlara vuruyorum yanlışlıkla. Dur bir açıl bakayım. Heh. Ben de şuradan vurayım. Yemin ediyorum bizim adamları ben öldürüyormuşum ha. Arkadan gelen var mı? Yok. Onu indirin artık. İndirin hadi oğlum. Ay yapacağınız işi, bir tane adam öldüreceğiniz lan. Geber lan. Ne adammış arkadaş ya. Öldü mü? Tamam. Koş koş koş. Sakin, nefesleneyim bir. Aslanım çekil bir önümden. İndi o. Güzel. O da indi. Lan ben bizim adamları öldürüyorum. Harbi diyorum, ben bizim adamları öldürüyorum ya. Ne yapıyor lan bu? Dönüyor bir şey yok. Yat oğlum aşağı, yat. Ben bizim adamlara vuramam diye düşünüyordum. Öldürüyormuşum lan. Bizim adamların çoğunu ben öldürdüm. Şu bizden mi şu? Bizde. Şunu indirin artık be. Hadi oğlum. Lan. Yat aşağı, yat. İndirdik. Devam ediyorum. Ekip. Lan nereye gitti bunlar? Şş, gel. Çabuk gel. Aslan parçası. Nereden gideceğiz şimdi? Ben yolu bilmiyorum. Yolu göster. Buradan. Tamam. Yürü. Yürü lan. Enerjimi de hemen harcamak istemiyorum. Bir dakika gençler, inin aşağıda, açıklıkta dövüşek. Ben önümü görmüyorum şu an. Lan bir çekil şuradan. Tamam, öldü. Koş yardım et çocuklara. Ağzına tükürdüm ha. Bak bizim adamı vurdum yanlışlıkla. Yat lan aşağı. Adamların zırhı sağlam olunca... Ya hayır, tüküreceğim, ben bir şeylere takılıyorum yerde. Öl lan. Öl. İndirdim. Vallahi deldim ha. Oha. Levele bak lan. Her şeyin levele atladı. Oy, çok iyi oldu şu an. Aldık galiba kaleyi ya. Aha, asıl gireceğimiz yer kule. Orada saklanıyor herhalde Puşt. Esirlerle birlikte.
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanush.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
Adamın orada o...
Wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, we're all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
Başka çarem var mı lan gevşek?
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Henry sakın bir şey söyleme lan.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work.
Oğlum okçu yok mu aşağı
And any man
indiklerinde
who
sıkalım
breaks his
kafalarına.
truce answers to me.
So are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor.
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing.
Lan söz vermeseydin o zaman.
Your father will be all right.
Ben kurtarırım onu
We'll
ya.
hunt down those vermin yet.
Oğlum bir kendi bir de adamı var. Başka bir şey kalmadı ki. Okçu yok mu? Sıkıverin kafalarına ya.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish,
Stephanie.
forgive me, husband. I'm sorry
For what?
for letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No,
Ben bunu öldürürüm ha.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
Ne demek etmeyeceğiz? Ben ederim.
From your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Ne olur oyun beni bir salsın ya. Direkt Skalitz'e gideceğim ha.
Quick! To the battlements. We have to see which way they go. Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz.
Tamam.
Mount up, Henry. You've heard
Aynen.
what he'll do if we follow them. We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
Mantıklı. İyi lan Hans. Ayda yılda bir işe yarıyorsun ya. Gidelim abi hemen Skalitz'e. Bence adamı orada öldürüp bırakacak bunlar ya. Radzig ölmese bari. Babamız olduğunu yeni öğrendik zaten. Adamla bir doğru düzgün hasret geçireydik. Hadi aslan parçası hadi koş. Lan ne biçim atın var hadi ya. Bu kadar yavaş atma olur oğlum. Ha oradan mı? Yol orası mı? Pardon. Ya ben bundan önce gitsem Skalitz'e sıkıntı çıkar kesin. Abi baksana şuna bu hızla at mı sürülür? Benim at bak.
What do you think?
Bence tutmayacak.
He's a noble, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So am I. So Radzig will be there.
Orada olacak da canlı mı olacak işte? Soru bu. Aslanım az daha hızlı mı gitsek ya? He? Belki yolda yakalarız.
Sneaking into Brandenburg on your own. Well, what I mean is, hats off to you, Hal.
Eyvallah eyvallah.
Wouldn't catch me doing that.
Truth is, I didn't think much about it. I just felt I had to do it.
Dört nala mı gitsek?
Turn around, isn't it?
What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that.
Bir iki hafta mı? Oğlum ay oldu lan.
That? I was chasing wenches around Rattay and you were digging turnips. And now look at us. A pair of veterans.
I was an apprentice blacksmith, not a turnip digger.
Same difference, you silly bugger.
Hans az daha mı hızlı gitsek oğlum? He, belki bir şey yapacak olurlarsa yetişiriz.
Don't worry. It'll come to you. You'll see.
Ya Radzig ölecekmiş gibi de hadi hayırlısı.
Just hope he'll be there. Alive.
Bak işte dedim ben canlı olarak. Hadi lan. Ya böyle yavaş atma olur ya.
What will you do now?
Aha. Aa askerler de varmış yanımızda.
There's no sign of them. Move on. There!
İyi lan öldürmemişler.
I'm glad to see Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
Tamam bu askerlerle peşinden gidecek. Tamam gitsin.
All right, Father.
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
Benim at var. Benim atım var oğlum. Aga be. Scarlet'sin be.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
Ha.
He knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
Oğlum daha kel kafa. Aa.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
Kel kafalı var lan
Spent
daha.
some time in
Daha onu
Prague.
öldüreceğiz.
Then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah,
Aga be.
the sword.
Aldı mı lan acaba
It's not
kılıcı?
my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it.
Doğru. O kel kafalı var daha.
I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Markvart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front.
Tamam 2 kişi bineceğiz oğlum ata işte.
It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it?
Ne oluyor lan?
I wonder who this is.
Ananı avradını. Biz oradayken gelecek olanlar vardı.
It's Margrave Jobst.
Heh o
The
işte.
king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Adam ordusuyla geldi birader. Hadi buyur. Bir de bu çıktı. Aa. Bir dakika nasıl ya? Oyun bitmiş olamaz. Abi daha kel kafalı vardı hani onu öldürecektik. Ne oldu? Abi bitmiş olamaz ya. Bir şey söyleyeceğim. Acaba DLC ile falan mı geliyor onlar? Abi kel kafalıyı öldürmeyeceğiz mi? Bu kısmı bir geçebilir miyim? Ulan ESC'ye bastım geçti direkt. Dur bitmemiş de olabilir oyun. Bir dakika anlamadım şu an.
You're doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
Rüya görüyoruz muhtemelen.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right.
Oyun bitti mi bitmedi mi ben anlamadım ya. Bence bitmemiştir daha ya.
I have to leave you now.
please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows.
Aha. Anamız da orada.
Make her proud.
Don't go.
Uyandık galiba.
Oh. Don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzig wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away. What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
İşte herhalde bayağı lord gibi bir şey olduk ya. Odamız bile var oğlum. Bir şeyler oldu. Nasıl özel bölgedeyim lan? Benim odam değil mi oğlum burası? Ben anlamadım hala oyun bitti mi bitmedi mi? Bitmiş gibi bir şey geldi. Yazılar falan geldi, yapımcılar vesaire. Sonra sinematik girdi, gene bir şey oldu. Yemin yemindir. Hadi buyur. Oyun bitmedi abi. Bir dakika, bir haritayı açsam. Neredeyim şu an? Ratta'ya gelmişiz. Tamam. Her yer hala eskisi gibi. Eyvallah. Mesela görevlere baksam. Kapanış. Bitiyor galiba lan. Yukarı kaleye git. Tamam. İntikam vardı bir de. Bulacağız. Ailemizin intikamını alacağız. Babamın kılıcını nasıl geri alacağımızı öğreneceğiz. Daha var abi görevler. Tamam. Tamam. Yukarı kaleye bir gidelim bakalım. Benim zırhlar mıhlar üstümde mi? Güzel. Bakayım tekrar. Güzel. Kapanış diyor ama bitecek mi bitmeyecek mi hala anlamadım. Yukarı kaleye gidelim. Yukarı kale şurası mı hocam? Bana mı söylüyor? Ne var lan?
Why?
Ne var?
Orders of his lordship.
Çık yolumdan dersem halledebiliyorum. Lan çekil.
Fine. Now get out of my way because you're definitely not searching me.
Right. That is certainly. Welcome. Welcome.
Adam ol oğlum, benim canımı sıkma. Gevşeye bak ya. Çekil lan. Bundan sonra böyle oğlum. Madem lorduz, bir şey diyeceğim bu arada. Dış kale, iç kale neresiydi? Oğlum ben yukarı gidecekmişim, yanlış yerdeyim. Pardon. Abi şuradan hemen rushlayalım. Benim atı bir çağırın bakayım. Bu kimin lan? Radzig'in atı. Hemen bir gidelim abi. Şu an ne olduğunu tam olarak anlamadım hala. Yani oyun bitti mi bitmedi mi onu anlamadım. Çünkü daha yapılacak bir sürü şey var. Kel kafayı bulacağız, intikamımızı alacağız, kılıcı bulacağız. Ama oyun kapanış görevini yapıyoruz şu an. Bilmiyorum. Öğreneceğiz birazdan. Selam aleyküm diyecektim. Sinematik geri direkt. Bu arada abone değilseniz abone olursanız ve like atarsanız sevinirim.
Ah, Hal. you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
Öğrenelim. Valla galiba bitiyor oyun. Belki ne bileyim DLC ile falan mı o yan görev oluyor acaba? Anlamadım ki onunla.
My
Bilmiyorum.
lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Radzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
The question is, which king?
Hadi buyur. Buradan kral mı seçeceğiz?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur, that King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Hadi
Actually,
buyur.
it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was
Bu
there
adama
when
güvenilmez. Ben buna
Sigismund
güvenmedim.
elected Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults,
Harbiden
we
yani
have
kral
no
tutsak olsa ne
one
olacak adam
else.
sonuç olarak kral hala.
Have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghof is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses.
Nasıl olacak
I
nazikçe?
have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghof, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And
Biz de
there's a
isyana yardım mı
tough struggle
edeceğiz?
awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghof know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, Your Grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war!
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghof at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
Tabii.
I doubt Berghof would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not?
Olur. Kabul.
He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just
Ne
as
oluyor
soon as
lan?
I've packed my things.
Burada ha GeForce Now ellemedim diye
Margrave
fareye
Rolfs
falan.
and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Abi oyun bitmemiş o zaman. Oyunun bir kısmı bittiği için belki öyle bir şey çıkmıştır. Oyun bitmiş olamaz çünkü baksana daha Sigismund'la falan kapışacağız yani. Babanla konuş. Babamla konuşayım babamla. Babam nerede? Radzig? Heh. Ne konuşacağız?
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Evet.
Yes. I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Berghof is no saint.
Don't worry.
Tamam sıkıntı yok ya.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Berghof tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Anladım.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
Yok ya. Sorsam
That's
şimdi
about
bir saat sürecek, eyvallah.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son.
Eyvallah, eyvallah. Anuş, mektup nerede? Mektup bana vereceğim be.
I
Yazdın
believe
mı?
we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another.
Doğru söylüyor.
What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
Öyle.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Eyvallah, biz şunu bir verip gelek ya. Bir şey olacak gibi sanki orada ama yine. 85 groschen ne lan? Tebrikler. Ana hikayeyi tamamladın. Eğer istersen hala yan görevleri, çeşitli etkinlikleri yapabilir ya da dünyada gezebilirsin. Sir Hans Capon'un ekibine katılarak oyunu her an bitirebilirsin. Nasıl ya? Sir Hans'ın ekibine katılınca oyun mu bitecek? Bir dakika abi. Bir dakika. Şimdi bak. Görev günlüğünde avluda Capone'la konuştuğum zaman oyun bitecek anladığım kadarıyla. Ama intikam bölümü var. Abi bu intikam almadan ben bu şeyi bitirmek istemiyorum ya, oyunu. Neyse arkadaşlar. Bu bölümümüzün burada sonuna geldim. İzlediğiniz için teşekkürler. Like atıp abone olmayı unutmayın. Kendinize iyi bakın. Hoşça kalın.